Let's get started. Hi Jane, are you excited for the upcoming Olympic Games in Paris?
Hi John, yes I am very excited. I love watching different sports and cheering for my country.
Me too. Do you know when the Olympic Games started and what they were like in ancient times?
Well, I know they originated in ancient Greece and were held in honor of Zeus, the king of the gods. They were part of a religious festival that lasted for several days.
That's right. The first recorded Olympic Games were in 776 BC, but they probably existed much earlier. They were held every 4 years in Olympia, a sacred site in the Peloponnese. Only men, boys and unmarried girls were allowed to attend. Married women were barred and could be thrown off a mountain if they sneaked in.
Wow, that's harsh. What kind of sports did they have back then?
They had running, wrestling, boxing, chariot racing, discus, javelin, long jump, and a pentathlon, which combined 5 events. The winners received olive wreaths and were celebrated as heroes.
That sounds amazing. How did the Olympic Games end in ancient times?
They ended in 393 AD, when the Roman Emperor Theodosius I banned all pagan festivals, including the Olympics. He wanted to promote Christianity as the official religion of the empire.
That's sad. How did the Olympic Games come back in modern times?
They came back in 1896, thanks to a French nobleman named Pierre de Coubertin, who founded the International Olympic Committee, IOC. He wanted to revive the spirit of the ancient Olympics and promote peace and friendship among nations through sports.
That's noble. How have the Olympic Games changed since then?
They have changed a lot. They now include winter sports, Paralympic sports, youth sports, and many more events and disciplines. They also have a torch relay, an opening ceremony, a closing ceremony, medals, mascots, and symbols. They are open to all athletes, regardless of their gender, race, or status. They are also influenced by politics, media, and commercialism.
That's true. There are many controversies and challenges facing the Olympic Games today. But I still think they are a wonderful celebration of human achievement and diversity. Don't you agree?
I agree. I think the Olympic Games are a great way to learn about different cultures and values, and to appreciate the beauty and joy of sports. I can't wait to watch them and see who will make history this year.
Me neither. Let's go and get ready for the opening ceremony. I heard it will be spectacular.
By the way, do you know that the Olympic Games have been a source of many scandals and controversies throughout history?
Really? Like what?
Well, for example, the 1936 Olympics in Berlin were used by Nazi Germany to promote their propaganda and racial ideology. Many Jewish athletes were excluded or persecuted by the Nazis.
That's horrible. How did the world react to that?
Some countries and individuals boycotted the Games or protested against the Nazi regime. For instance, Jesse Owens, a black American athlete, won 4 gold medals and defied Hitler's claim of Aryan supremacy.
Wow, that's impressive. What about other boycotts or protests?
There have been many. For example, in 1968, 2 American sprinters raised their fists in a Black Power salute on the podium to protest against racial discrimination in the U.S. In 1980 and 1984, the US and the Soviet Union led boycotts of each other's games because of the Cold War.
I see. That's very political. What about other controversies that are not related to politics?
There are also controversies related to doping, cheating, corruption, or human rights. For example, in 2002, there was a scandal in figure skating, where a French judge admitted to being pressured to vote for the Russian pair over the Canadian pair. In 2016, there was a massive doping scandal involving Russian athletes, who were accused of using banned substances and tampering with samples. In 2024, there are concerns about the environmental and social impact of the games in Paris, such as gentrification, homelessness, and security.
That's a lot of issues. How do you feel about them?
I feel conflicted. On one hand, I think the Olympic Games are supposed to be a celebration of sportsmanship, excellence, and peace. On the other hand, I think they also reflect the realities and problems of the world we live in. I hope that the Olympic spirit can overcome the challenges and inspire positive change.
I agree with you. I think the Olympic Games are not perfect, but they are still worth watching and supporting. I think they can show us the best and the worst of humanity, and challenge us to do better.
Well said. I'm glad we can have this conversation. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me.
Thank you too. I learned a lot from you. Let's enjoy the games together.